everybody, and welcome to episode 99 of the Destiny Digest podcast. Next week is number 100. It's kind of nuts to think. You guys came in. Joining me tonight, we have Epic Dan 22, we have Tiddly, and we have Bonafide Hero. Thank you guys so much for joining.
Hello.
Hello.
You guys joined a couple dozen episodes ago. How do you guys feel? How are you guys feeling?
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Shout outs to Seth and to Sammy. They couldn't be here tonight. But yeah, it looks like according to our Guardian Path, we're about 70 days out from the end of the season, 70 some odd days away from the season. How are you guys feeling? How's your week been? And what all have you guys been playing? Tiddly, let's start with you, bud.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. So I feel like we're in that end of season lull a little bit with Destiny. I know that we've got kind of a big week coming up with Edge of Fate reveal, and then Rite of the 9, which I'm super excited about, and then Saturday, yeah, all that stuff happening on Tuesday, and then also Friday, the heavy metal coming out too. So it's like it's going to be a big week this week, but this past week it's just been kind of like, well, maybe I'll just take it easy, play some other stuff before all of that comes out.
Right.
I've been playing Baldur's with Dan still. And that's been really fun. I didn't almost murder our team this past Tuesday, so I call that a dub.
Yeah.
That's been really fun. But mostly I've been playing.
I bet Rev loved that.
I never intentionally sabotage. I'm just
Neither did I. I still got yelled at.
I get yelled at too. I just feel like I'm like a mild agent of chaos. I think I've always been kind of. I got in trouble in elementary school because I would get bored and then cause havoc and not do what I was supposed to. So I just think I've always been a little bit
ADHD.
Okay, so maybe it wasn't diagnosed when I was really little, but I just get bored and I create mischief. So that thankfully I didn't get in too much trouble in Baldur's this past week.
We made it to the Underdark. We successfully made it.
Oh yeah, we did make it to the Underdark, and and we stalked the bulwark monster, the really tanky one. We chased him all over the map because Rev wanted to turn him into a zombie monster, which didn't work out because he just fled after we killed him. He disappeared, and so Anyway, it's been really fun. Like I really am enjoying going back into Baldur's after taking a break. It is a really fantastic game. Mostly I've been playing Marathon Alpha with friends, so that's been really terrific. The more I play it, the more I like it. So
I was gonna say, what's your experience with that? Because I haven't found myself really diving in this week into it. Just because of a lot of things, but
sure.
Yeah, I feel like I get the general gist of the game now after 8 hours, and didn't really find a need to hop back in myself.
I like it because I like playing with my friends. Like I actually got to play with Lulu last week, and Lulu is somebody who I've been friends with on Twitch for longer than I've been streaming. Like she's great, and I had a really good time playing with her. So I like it for the playing with friends aspect of it, but I also like, even though I lost some really good loot this past week, I lost some really good loot. I had a purple SMG that I'm really sad about. I had a blue shield I lost, but I think I like also I've gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, I can unlock things through upgrades. So I'm just really enjoying going and hunting materials at this point, and that feels like I think that they're doing a good job at least of saying, here's some little wins, even if you lose some big items, here's some little things to keep you going. You can keep on looking for those aluminum rods. You can keep doing your contracts. I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun. I'm actually kind of sad that it's going away this week. At least they did extend it. So the alpha is going to be live for, I believe through Tuesday. So I get a little more time to play it. So that's really fun. Did a little bit of the Star Wars Fortnite, which is crazy. I mean, also happy Star Wars Day, everybody, of course. May the 4th be with you.
And also with you.
And so that was actually kind of fun. Right now, well, I'm not sure. I know that when they launched it, all the weapons in Fortnite are basically like lightsabers and Star Wars weapons, like blasters and stuff like that. So that's pretty fun. We did get a couple wins. We got one in OG no build and one in the new Star Wars one. So yeah, that's pretty fun. I'm excited to kind of like go back in and do. They have TIE fighters and stuff, so it's kind of like there's definitely goofy shenanigans to be had.
Can you give us your best TIE fighter impression?
That's
Yeah,
good.
distant scream. Like,
I thought you were going to be talking more of the like that.
that's what I was trying to do. And then I pussied out.
Oh, I'm in like an aerial battle. Pew, 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 pew. Right? Yeah, so that's good. I haven't played a lot of Rivals. I played a little bit of Rivals this past week. Right now the comp is pretty dive heavy, which feels kind of bad as a healer main, because you just have Captain America and Venom, and Emma. Everyone is just basically trying to chase down the healers and murder them, which generally,
There
like
was
for
something
a
this
hero,
week.
yeah,
There
generally
was
for a
something this
hero
week
shooter,
about
it's like,
the
oh, did they? Yeah.
oh, it was
did
like
they
a
patch?
healing strike or whatever.
Yeah, they patched.
All the
patched up
healers went on
healing a little bit.
strike. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels a little bad to play as a healer main right now, in the game. Even though like Emma Frost is super fun, like I do enjoy her. She's a great addition. Oh gosh, I guess I played a lot of different games besides Destiny this week.
Congratulations.
Also Overwatch has a new mode that I'm a Stadium, which I've been playing a little bit of too. So I guess I played yeah. So basically, it's kind of like Destiny Mayhem a little bit, but more structured. So like you go in and you select a character, your character locked. So we pick your class, you pick your character, and then you basically do a build. So you have access to buff your character past like the traditional abilities and supers that you normally ultimacy would normally have in Overwatch. So you can kind of lean into, like for me, for Moira, I can lean into like go backline diving and killing other healers or whatever. So I can lean into like weapon damage, or I can lean into healing and then just pick like basically buff the character past the normal bounds. And like there's like 8 rounds. It's basically team v team, 8 rounds, and then is it 7? Maybe it's 7 rounds. I'm sorry, I might have that wrong. But basically it's best of 7, and then as you go, if you do well in a round, then you get more money that you can use to buy additional abilities and make your character even stronger. So it's really fun. It's kind of like super. It's like that power fantasy in like a hero shooter PvP mode. And I think it's a breath of fresh air. I think it's really what Overwatch needed, because Overwatch was definitely feeling pretty stale for a lot of people. I think the 5v5 really kind of crushed people's hopes and dreams. So so that's actually been really fun. I've been enjoying that also. So there's a lot of really good stuff going on besides Destiny, but it's also a big Destiny week, so I'm excited to see what's happening there.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Bona, what about you?
I've just been working like sort of so much yet again. I haven't really played anything this past week, other than something I'm not allowed to talk about. So I'm going to be very quick and just pass it over to Dan.
Epic Dan, what's good,
Sorry.
Not much. I haven't played a lot of Destiny this week. I still need to do the puzzle, but I wanted to take time to play the game that a lot of people either didn't know about or recently just heard about. Is Claire Obscure Expedition 33. That's pretty much all I've done this week, is just play that. If you don't know what it is, the best way I can explain it is, imagine a traditional turn-based RPG like, say, Final Fantasy. Just pick your favorite Final Fantasy from the turn-based era and make it a bit more action-oriented with the parry system from Sekiro. And that's pretty much what it is, but it's a fantastic game with a pretty strong story. Which I think the biggest part of it that people talk about, obviously, is this was made by a group of people that was 30 developers, which is surprising because of how dense the content is. I'm about 50 hours in total, I've done the main story, and I've done a fair amount of the side quests and a couple of the ultra bosses.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a really good experience. I think it's still on sale for $40 right now.
Yeah.
Which is also a pretty strong deal if you want to play.
Yeah. Especially in a week when everybody's been like, oh yeah, we're gonna do $80 games.
Yeah.
And everything like that. That's been a bit of a fresh air. It's like, I think it's like a 40-hour game. Like if you just do the main story.
It's a 25-hour game if you just beeline the story.
Okay.
So are there side quests that you can do?
Yeah,
then
there's a bunch of side quests.
To 100% it.
To 100% it. There's also, once you get to Act 3, a whole new portion of the game opens up. You get a lot of new, without spoiling, you get new abilities that allow you to traverse areas that you couldn't traverse earlier.
Okay.
Whoa.
And then you have all this other stuff that unlocks because of that. Because at first I was getting through the game, and I remember telling my chat, I was like, I feel like I'm getting close to the end, but in all the areas, there's interactables that obviously I'm supposed to be able to interact with, but I don't have the current skill or ability or the NPC to deal with it. And I can tell that that's not an actual wall because there's enemies behind it or materials. I can see it on my screen, but I can't get there. So it's really interesting how much they put in the game without bloating it.
Yeah.
Because we've all probably played an RPG that like is massive and you spend I always use the I always talk about how the worst version of an RPG is GTA 4 because GTA 4 is really good, but they also have this portion of it where you have to go around and find like 200 pigeons.
Yeah.
And it's just bloat. It's bloat to make the RPG feel and like make the time longer. So that's been pretty much all I've played, and I can connect it most to the last big RPG that I really enjoyed, which was Metaphor ReFantazio. I would say is as good as Metaphor with a third of the story.
That's cool.
So if you like Metaphor, or if you don't want to commit or didn't want to commit to the 120 hours that Metaphor required to at least complete it, just almost beeline the story, but it's reminded me a lot of that game, but on a smaller scale, but equally as good as far as content.
I've heard a lot of folks on different shows saying that like this feels like this and Metaphor feel like there was a need for a JRPG in the space that wasn't like 20 minutes of talkie and like and that some
I don't know, Metaphor is 20 minutes
Metaphor is like
yeah.
I mean there's a full-blown anime in there, but the
Clear does not have that, which is nice.
Like maybe 5 minutes of cutscenes here and there.
There's only one big cutscene, and that's like right before the big fight. They do all the explaining of the mystery of the game, and then it's like, okay, now go deal with the big bad at the end.
I think the big thing was like they saw a place in the market for it, and those two games are really like latching onto it, and people are grabbing onto it because like,
and they're turn-based, which is interesting how much people like it. I thought people hated turn-based games.
I'm about like 4 hours into it. I'm still in Act 1. I'm like to the point where they leave.
Oh man,
they left the town, and I'm still exploring
Lemire,
right. And so that's where I am. What struck me is that like there's a spot very early on where you can just kind of go into, and there is a boss that is just out there in the distance, and you see it big as anything. Yeah. You find it big as anything, and you're like, I'm gonna go take that on. I don't know what it's gonna do, and then it absolutely wrecks the crap out of you for how cute it is.
Oh, I love that. Like a Tonberry.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much like in that style. Yeah, so I played a little bit of that last week, not this past week. I haven't really played a lot. Like we played a little bit of Destiny.
This past week would have been a good week for you to play, because I know you're gonna probably play a lot of Destiny.
Yeah,
That's why not why I played it, but
mm-hmm.
it was a really good time, because I personally I didn't feel the normal like I'm just waiting for new Destiny content, because I played a bunch of Destiny last week and then I took a week off to play this game. So I'm done with Claire. Now I'm back to Destiny. Oh, new Destiny stuff. Oh, a lot of new Destiny stuff.
A lot of new Destiny stuff.
A lot of new Destiny stuff.
Yeah, I think we're gonna pick up Claire also.
Do it.
Yeah, no, we're gonna pick it up and play it.
That would be a good game for y'all to play if you wanted to do a couch type of thing.
Yeah, no, we're gonna do a couch
like
with my husband. Like he's gonna play it and I'm gonna watch and backseat him. We're gonna play it on like the big TV downstairs and just like do it as like our hangout time in the evening. So I'm really excited about that. I've heard amazing things. I really want to play it.
It's a beautiful game, and we were talking a little bit before the show that like the voice cast is solid.
Yeah,
it's got Charlie Cox from Daredevil. It has Shadowheart.
I love him.
Yeah, it has Shadowheart.
Yeah, you're saying Shadowheart. Yeah,
Shadowheart is one of the main characters. Yeah,
it has Ben Starr, who like over the past like 3 years has kind of just come up and become the face of voice acting. It seems like he's keeps showing up in everything. It's great.
What else is he in?
He was the voice of Clive in Final Fantasy 16.
Yep.
Yeah.
16.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
And like he's also like if you see any of the Blatro ads where there's a person in the clown makeup or in the Joker makeup, he's that guy.
Okay.
Yeah. And so just like really interesting dude. And he just seems to be popping up everywhere. I didn't play a lot this week. This week's been kind of a weird one. I was telling you guys this before stream. Mainly because of like the losses at Polygon and Giant Bomb, and then another Hangout show that I listened to. I did so I have been hopping back into Duolingo and learning German again. That's
German.
Nice. Duolingo is definitely like a video game. it's the way that they breadcrumb you progression, the way that the characters interact. It's like so I've been
they're gamifying like language acquisition essentially.
Yeah. So I restarted my streak this past week. Jenny, inspired by the move, started learning Portuguese. I think trying to like manifest some trip to Portugal, which I'm all for. And then I started playing a game on my phone that is so it's called The Tower. And it's just like a little polygon tower defense game. Where it's super rudimentary. You have like a little you have a pentagon in the middle of a field, like a circle, and anything that enters into that circle it shoots just a little ball at, right? And you're able to upgrade it as you go. It is strangely more addicting than I thought it was going to be. Because I was like, this is just going to be like one of those idle things I don't need to necessarily invest a lot in.
Yeah.
I've invested a lot of time into this.
So Dan, is it like a pay to win? Is it one of those like where you're like,
they want
pay
you
$4.99 to get 4 additional fruits unlocked and then or whatever? I don't know.
Really want you to, but I'm not going that route.
Yeah. Oh, sure. You're gonna hit the wall and then you're gonna purchase those fruits, Dan.
I'm not going that route.
How will I get my dopamine?
Okay, when you cave, I need you to DM me so I can.
I will DM you immediately when I cave. But it's not going to happen, sister. That's not.
That's what I said about Pokemon Go. Now I run an entire fucking community.
Yeah.
Fair.
There you go. Yeah, but you never know.
But it's been super fun and like it's super granular too because it like takes the power of the ball and then like how fast the ball comes out and then like the health and everything because if things hit your tower, of course it's going to kill it, and then you do upgrades for your defense for that, or like if there's thorns on your tower now that do damage when things get to it. It's just super it just gets super granular, and it's pretty fun.
Awesome.
But yeah, other than that, Duolingo, the tower. I too have not. We'll just go right into Destiny of it all. I too have not played chess this week.
Oh yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
I only know vaguely to what is going on with it, but I was
Mhm.
told that it was a community
There was a
solution,
community puzzle.
and so there wasn't something
Yeah.
like an overt need for me as an individual player to jump in and assist. So I played other things. So just like
Because everyone had a different code, so we had to like
yeah. So it had to be pieced
pull
together.
together all the
Okay.
all the codes.
And the reward is a taken shader. Is that
taken
that's what I
shader.
heard correctly?
Mhm.
Okay.
And an emblem
There's an emblem.
or a ship.
Okay.
According
Gotcha.
to Ryan Gilliam on Polygon as of April 30th. I don't even know if he's still there.
Is he still? Yeah, I was gonna say.
He says the chess puzzle in Destiny 2 is just the first piece in an all-consuming puzzle the Destiny community is rapidly trying to solve ahead of the Edge of Fate reveal on May 6th. If you don't complete this chess puzzle released in the Twilight of Heresy episode, you can't help the community solve the larger picture. So they made a guide of how to share your board and all the chess locations and everything like that. I have been going through trying to like find the chess pieces that I don't have. I have maybe 10. So that means that there's about 50
I have
more
4.
that I need to go and find.
So
But-
there's
Right,
a
so I know what
time
I'm gonna be doing
limitation on
tomorrow.
finishing it.
I mean, I think the puzzle's done.
Well, no,
like,
I think
Okay, but
what
you
they
do
mean
you have
is
to
like
find
you
the
won't be able
chess
to get it.
pieces?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to find the chess pieces in order to open
the
up the
puzzles.
chest. But
yeah.
there are people that are holding checkpoints, and all you gotta do is
Oh,
join
okay.
on them and just open up the chest. So it.
Oh, without
was-
finding the
The only thing you don't get, you get like there's one thing you don't get, but if you only care about like the rewards,
yeah.
someone like I had people in my community just like sit like while I was playing Claire, they'd be like, "Hey, I have a chess checkpoint. Join on me if you just want the stuff."
Yeah.
Just give checkpoint.
Yeah, no, that sounds good to me. I don't really want to collect chess pieces. I will do anything for a shader though. I'm like a shader addict. So if I have to
The only
collect
reason
chess
I
pieces for a
didn't
shader, I'll
even
do it.
care was because, like Dan said, I had 4 chess pieces, and the thought of I have to go around
Collecting
and get them all.
the
first
rest of
before
them,
they
you're
can-
just like,
so I was like, I'm gonna play Claire this week.
Cool.
But I do want to do the chess thing. I don't know how much anyone else has seen, but a lot of people have compared it to
Corridors of
Corridors
Time.
of Time.
is what I
Corridors of
heard.
Time. I don't know if I fully agree with that, but I would
Mhm.
say this is probably the closest we've gotten to that kind of thing.
It took
And-
days for that, no, for corridors.
It took
or
weeks.
Weeks,
Mhm.
like
So like I was
doing
telling people, I was
spreadsheets
like,
for
this one
ages.
only took like 48 hours, maybe.
Mhm.
Quarter of the time took like a week and a
Yeah.
half.
This one also
And
had
that
like
was
tools
insane.
that Bungie supplied to help solve too, like through
Yes.
through an ARG, right?
Yeah. I don't think they want one thing I've noticed is while the community, I don't think it's nostalgia, but while the community really, really holds on to some of those events from way back then,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the developers really want that kind of system still in the game.
Mm.
They want it, but not to the point that it takes like weeks to get done.
Yeah,
That's what I've noticed.
like a quick and easy puzzle, not an easy puzzle, but a quick puzzle that the community can collaborate together to create a moment and then move.
Yeah,
on
they want
from
the
that.
moment, but they like. I remember I wasn't even a big creator then. I remember streaming and doing my part at the time, helping with Quarter at the time, and I remember after I think 5 or 6 days, folks just stopped
Mhm.
caring.
Yeah,
You know, they were like, you know what? I'll come back when it's finally done. Make the video so I can just see what happens. you
Right,
know?
right.
So it is nice that they shorten it. It's easier to keep excitement around it
Yeah.
for 48
Mhm.
hours versus 9 days.
yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, and like the trade-off on that is like the FOMO of like I wasn't there when the puzzle was solved, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
This one kind of still you could argue was FOMO
Mm-hmm.
because the issue I've always had with some of the community events is that they lean too much on streamers.
Mm-hmm.
But streamers are the only ones that can pull the resources to get it done efficiently.
Sure.
So it's
Yeah.
like it's damned if you do, damned if you don't type of situation. Because
Right.
I don't know how people would have gotten the ARG done and this chess piece thing done.
What about like the
the
Reddit,
streamers
the
who were able to
raid
pull it
secrets Reddit though? I feel like they do a pretty good job usually.
They do a very
of-
good job.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's not streaming. But I mean,
The
like
hard
you
part
need
with that,
some
there are
kind of
people
like
that stream-
crowdsourced like
Yeah, it's like
information in place.
crowdsourced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
But I wouldn't be surprised if like the people in Raid Secrets have relationships with some of the
streamers,
people who
too.
focus.
Oh,
on
yeah.
yeah, I know
100%,
some
yeah.
of them from
Yeah.
in Raid Secrets.
Yeah.
So I know if they know me and I know them, they probably will pull their resources together to
Oh,
make
yeah.
it work. It's a community thing, but
Mhm.
it's
Absolutely.
always interesting because there's always someone who feels FOMO from it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always interesting. It's an interesting solution because we've seen exotic missions in the past that have almost been handheld to us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because, well, the other choice was just to make it this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough. I'm always interested in the community's response to it. And I know everyone talks about FOMO being a bad thing, but
Okay.
it's
You need
probably the
some.
better choice. You know?
need some.
Yeah, I think an excess of it is problematic. It
Yeah.
makes you
Yeah.
not really care. Like I mean, I think part of doing it like the way they're doing it now makes me kind of not care because it's like, well, I don't have any control over this outcome. If I'm not like one of the streamers that's organizing
Mhm.
people and trying to figure it out and
Mhm.
really invested in that, then I'm like, I'll just play Marvel Rivals or something
Yeah.
and then just wait for
It'll
other
get
people to
solved.
Yeah,
do
there's
it.
a lot of people that's like
So,
that. Mhm.
Yeah. So, but I, honestly, I don't even really feel like I'm missing out. I'm kind of like, well, that's kind of cool that they added that. I feel like it's
Yeah.
different from like an exotic mission. Like, I feel like for me, the gold standard was the Whisper exotic mission,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
because people were trying to figure out how to even start it. And then it was like you had to wait in that certain area, and then it
Mhm.
had to like spawn the certain type of event, and then you had to wait for this to happen, and then you had to do this and this and this, and then
Yep.
you'd finally get into it. That was really cool, and that's something that I couldn't just sit back and not do. Like if I
Mhm.
wanted to
Yes.
do the exotic mission, I had to like do that,
Over and
do
over
that
again.
first opening bit.
Yeah.
I loved
Mhm.
that. I thought that was
Cabal
great.
again?
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh,
I know. I don't know. For me, that's like the gold standard. But I know there's been some really excellent community puzzles. So I just like stuff that's like this, or like, some of the other things that they've done with as a community you have to kill X number of whatever.
Mm.
I'm like, it's okay. I'll play the game, but I'm not gonna
Yeah.
gonna stress about it.
Mhm.
You know?
I'm not gonna try.
I'm
you're
always
not gonna try to
surprised
be
how
Superman?
smart the community is
Yeah.
with this stuff, though.
Mhm.
Because I look at
We
it,
got-
I remember looking
We got
at
some
the
smart
art.
eggs, man.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
love it. I love
"Man."
it.
There's some very intelligent people.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it is fun. Like I think the people who are super invested in it, like
I love that for
not
them.
just I really do, and not just the streamers, because obviously like what we do is we build community. So like
Mhm.
we're gonna have
Yep.
an advantage, right? You were saying, Dan, with stuff like this, but people are watching in the communities, the streamers communities, who are just like riveted to like
Yep.
like it's like like you said, Dan, it's like
Moment
I
it
want to be
unlocks.
there. I want to be there
Yep.
when it happens. I want to
Mhm.
be there when you figured it out. I want to be a piece of this, a part of this exciting thing. Yeah, I think it's
It's so cool.
positive. I think any secrets or special fun things like Easter eggs, like the community loves that. Like do it for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be, depending on what it is, I'm gonna be involved in it to differing degrees.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love all of that for us. So
I like that we don't. I like that we feel that way,
Mhm.
but we don't. At least everyone here that we feel that way, but at least we aren't callous about it. Because I have
Mhm.
seen some people that's like, well, if I'm not a part of it, I don't care about it at all.
Yeah.
Which is all like it's just a weird thing because there are those bad eggs in the community. So if you're out there and you are like us and you might not be as involved or invested,
Mhm.
but it's okay to feel happy for other people.
Oh yeah.
Because I would want
I like
them
that.
to be happy for me when the content in the game comes out that I really am excited for and
Yeah.
they're
Sure.
not really hyped about.
I mean, that sounds like a very bleak way to live, to be angry at somebody else's joy. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, so you've
I
been
don't know.
to
This is, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. That's kind of, that probably sucks to be them, honestly. Like, that's kind of an
Had
unfun way to
to.
exist, right?
Mhm.
You know? Like, I think it's way more fun to like enjoy other people's enjoyment and be like, hey, I mean, maybe it's not for me, but like, you're loving it. That's great.
Yeah. I didn't
You
have
know,
a
it
lot of
doesn't
time
it doesn't
this
hurt
week.
me that you're enjoying this. You know,
Yeah.
go for it.
I didn't have a lot of time this week to do it. Like, just there was work and there was all
Yeah.
sorts of things outside
Yeah.
of that were drawing my attention. So I didn't have any. I
Are
didn't
you
have
good
any
at
skin in the
chess?
game, but like I saw people in my
'Cause
Discord community
I'm not good at chess.
just getting like really excited.
Super
for it.
amped up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was okay at chess. Like, did everybody here have like a chess?
Oh yeah, I used
like,
to play chess
stage?
with my
I
dad.
played chess when I was like 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was little, we would do chess. My dad would always beat me. He's a very smart guy. But
I can't
you know,
remember who
like
it
I had
was.
the parents that wouldn't let you win. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
would make you earn it. You know.
They're teaching you a lesson. That's what they say.
Yeah, it's a lesson about life. Life isn't
Character
easy.
building.
Character building. You will lose at chess every time.
That was like my fourth grade year. Like, everybody got really into chess to the point where like people were bringing their own boards, and they got the wooden foldable boards from like Walmart for $20.
I still have mine.
I still have mine. And so like, no, I don't have that one anymore because I lost it in the fire. But Ginny,
Oh, okay.
Ginny got interested in playing chess, so we purchased a board here for the house, and so
very
occasionally
nice.
we'll like play and stuff. But yeah, like
Play against each other.
I just
yeah.
remember fourth grade year was like everybody was in it, and everybody was like looking up the moves and
man.
stuff, and it was a lot of fun. But what are you gonna do? I was in the 90s. Yeah, so like, go and get your shaders and your emblems and stuff while you can. It looks like from
When does it go away?
that I don't know. My guess is it
Not
wouldn't go away
Tuesday.
until the end of the season.
Okay.
Like, that would be my guess. Because it does unlock it did unlock a cutscene for characters that completed it. That was highly
That's
interesting. That featured the Drifter, and I believe it was called "Knocking at Our Door" or "Rocks at Our Window" is the name of the cinematic, and it was included in this week's TWID.
Okay.
So highly recommend everybody go and watch that. That was pretty cool. And you can't skip it when your other characters see it, says Lawrence.
Oh.
So
Okay.
there's that to know.
Good to know.
Moving on into things that are in the TWID. May 6th is this coming Tuesday. I need to talk to you guys about like some plans for like watch along
Yes,
stuff.
Jeff.
Yep. For Tuesday. But that is this upcoming Tuesday. I will say right now, there was an article that came out today. There's an article that came out
This
today
morning. Yep.
that has been circulating around the internet. That has massive spoilers or like leak information about the release date, about
A lot of stuff.
yeah, about the expansion, about the collector's edition, just all sorts of things. So, if you are somebody who finds joy in not being spoiled, you should go and you should start blocking some terms right now until Tuesday.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Thankfully, it's
Hashtag
not that
Epic
long.
Dan on Instagram is Wonderblock.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, I think just be careful out there. It's the internet. Like, you don't know exactly what you're going to see is true or not. I'm personally looking at this article as something as like, can I verify the source on this, like, versus what we see? Apparently this came directly from Bungie's own website, like, and from some of the storefronts releasing information a little bit early.
Right.
So
It wasn't data mined.
yeah, it
You were
wasn't
saying.
data
Yeah.
mined.
Yeah.
It was.
Was it
was-
Sony or Microsoft this time? I feel like they just every year they decide like you do it this year. No, you do it this year.
It was Bungie
you-
this time, no?
Yeah, I
Was it
think
Bungie as well?
yes, it was the Bungie.
Because the one I
store
heard about
itself.
was someone found it on the I want to say the Microsoft store had a pre-order.
According to the article that I'm seeing, it was the Bungie store that had posted.
Man, can't blame no one when it's your own house.
Yeah. So it's the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah.
Oh, unfortunate. Yeah, the pointing at each other. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's tough that I mean, like most of the details here, we were already going to find out in 48 hours.
Sure.
But yeah, if you don't like being spoiled by stuff, go ahead and start blocking some things. But back to the TWID, they said you got a sneak peek already, but there are only 5 more days as the time of the posting of the TWID to go until we reveal the Edge of Fate. We will cover many of the changes coming to Destiny 2 this summer, the new expansion and its campaign, major changes coming to many core and structural systems throughout the game, some of the new rewards you'll be earning, and you will be able to earn the Theozenia emblem by watching 15 minutes with your Bungie account
Of Dan
connected
Infinity.
to Twitch. And yeah, so that's interesting. Something that I saw on I think Mactix had a TikTok about it, of like, we've seen the game under Joe Blackburn, like as directed by Joe Blackburn for so long that we've gotten the Joe Blackburn version of what Destiny 2 is. And like being interested in seeing how the new director takes on these systems, what their goal and their vision for Destiny 2 is going to be, and how like the community will respond to that.
Yeah.
And so like for me, the major underline is under major changes coming to many core and structural systems throughout the game. That seems interesting to me on that front.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I don't know
stoked.
any other way of putting it.
Yeah, I just want to see how they shake things up and how.
Yeah.
How things
While I
change.
really enjoyed Found a Shape, like you said, I'm curious. They're using the term major a lot. Like
Mhm.
when I was reading the talks, like they're talking about a huge shift in a lot of stuff that we're used to,
Mhm.
and with new eyes on the game, with the new vision, possible that I've always used the comparison to Final Fantasy 14.
Mhm.
How once they got under new leadership and a new director that decided to do a lot of different stuff,
Mhm.
it ended up working out very well for them long term. Same for Warframe, when they went under the one director, Rebecca, I can't remember her last name,
Mhm.
and she was like, "We're going to do all this new stuff that is drastically different," and that just made the game feel fresh for that community.
Mhm.
So I'm really excited to see how much they are going to shift the game,
Mhm.
because we definitely need it.
Well, we already
Yeah,
know
for
that
sure.
armor's going to be changing like drastically.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Being all of my, armor that I've held for years that I'm like,
It's
this is
about
so
time for us to let
spiky.
it go.
Mhm.
I'm never gonna get this again.
Yeah.
This is the best duality armor that I've farmed in the entire game.
Now you're going to have to
No.
farm for a 300 resilience armor.
It's
Just
just
that.
like, oh man, the
Mhm.
artifice armor.
Yeah,
At least I
man.
can clean out my vault now. I don't have to hold on to the artifice.
Yeah,
Just
just do a
delete it all.
charity
Yeah.
thing.
I'd be like, oh,
Just
delete my
invite
vault.
me over. I'll hit the button several times.
To
You're
let
welcome
Dan in your vault,
anytime,
you're
Dan.
going to leave with nothing in it.
I know you're good at deleting your entire inventory, so
I'm great at it. I'm a
you got
pro.
some experience there.
Pro at
I've
this
only
point.
did it once. It was
Yeah.
but I somehow managed, even through deleting my entire vault, I
Mhm.
still managed to keep hoard
When did you
those
delete
spiky.
your vault fully?
Oh my god, last year.
Oh, really? Recently?
Yeah.
The only
Last
time I
year.
did
Should
it
be
was
easy.
Beyond Light.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not that bad. The game is just very looty, so it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
rebuild it so quickly. Especially since like I feel like when you delete it, you delete the whole thing, right, Dan? Like I
Yeah.
held on to not 81, but I held on to like a good
was
like
empty.
60, 70 pieces
Mm.
on my characters, and I deleted everything in my vault remaining, but like
Chat allowed me to keep 30 items.
Okay, see
But
that
those
there
are
you
on your
go.
character,
So
right?
like
That was on my character. And then
Yeah.
so the things that like because there are things that in that year did mean a lot to me. There were like some of the shinies from Into the Light.
sure, sure.
Yeah.
Some of
Things that
the
you can't get
adepts that I
again.
got along the
Mhm.
way, like that, like
Mhm.
those and tools that help me help other people. Chat was
Right,
very much
right.
very forgiving and being like, okay, yeah, you can
How
keep
nice
some of
of
that
chat.
stuff. Yeah, very nice chat.
so kind.
I'm trying
to,
not to piss them
deign
off
to
over the
allow
next
you.
year.
No, I mean, if you
But-
think about it though, like 30 is plenty. Like I probably reach for the same 15 every
Mhm.
like maybe that rotates every season, but I'll reach for
Yeah.
like the same 15 every season. You know, I
Yeah.
probably could live with having 25 things. Except when the meta changes, and then I'm like, I'm so glad I
I
got
would
the
say, yeah.
stasis sniper that Epic Dan said was going to be really good for two tapping champs in the GMs. I'm like,
It's
oh
still
good,
great.
I have this in my vault. Oh, okay. Thank goodness. Or my hoarder.
Yeah. So my question is, for those who played Marathon, has that changed your outlook on your vault in Destiny 2 at all? The nature of the
Oh.
vault in Marathon being flexible, or not being flexible, being actually more stringent, and needing to cull things more than you would if you had 700 spaces.
I feel like it's a little apples and orangey
Okay.
comparatively, but I
Yeah.
definitely think it feels a little more like D1 where the space really matters. But I also
Mhm.
I feel the same way about it in that I'm going and looking at it and I'm like, why is there not more room? Why is there not more room? Like, why? Give me more room. What do I have to get to give me more room? It is motivational to play more though. Like you can
Mhm.
unlock additional space, so it's definitely motivational. But I definitely think it's an apples and oranges situation.
Gotcha.
Although we did discuss the idea of having like a what did they call it, a prison wallet or something like that, which apparently is a
Prison wallet.
which apparently is like no, I'm serious. I didn't even know this was a thing, but apparently it's like actually an extraction shooter thing,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Like
I've
We're
No,
going to
it
be
really
extracting
is.
something
I've heard
if we're
the term.
using prison wallet.
I've heard the term before.
I'm googling prison wallet.
Don't
Don't!
do it at work. Don't do it at work.
Don't!
so I mean
Incognito tab,
the concept
definitely.
Stop it. Daniel.
Interesting.
the concept is that you have like
Thank you,
a
Urban
small
Dictionary.
a small section of your inventory that even if
You
you
didn't
get
get
like
photos?
wiped, you basically get to keep it because it's
Right.
in your prison wallet. So no, I swear. Okay, this is what people told me, that this was like a thing in other extractions. I'm serious.
I'm just thinking of like, I'm just thinking of like Marathon now and be like, oh man.
Who said this
Like,
to you?
Prison wallet.
Who said this to you? First of all,
I think I don't know. It was like another creator that I will not mention that I was streaming with last week. Probably.
Okay. All right.
It was Mitch, wasn't it?
I'm not saying, but
Mitch.
but now I definitely feel like I should put this in my anonymous feedback form as something that we need to have.
Tiddly's been removed from the Marathon Creator Discord server.
I had heard the term before, but never in regards to video
Never.
games or extraction shooters. That's
Anyway, so but that's what it is conceptually. So it's like kind of like inventory plus. It's kind of like I
Right.
want to protect
Something that's
these
safe.
things. Yes,
Or even
correct.
if you
correct.
die, you don't
exactly.
lose.
You put it
Okay.
in the safe place, and then you get to take it back with you,
okay.
right?
Safe places.
Oslo said it was definitely Mitch. Okay. Anyways,
I don't care how safe it is. It's not going up there.
But also, Matt in chat was like, "Is there a mobility penalty?" when you use it?"
You just waddle along like you don't fucking have it there.
Oh no!
Guys, I'm on my way to the extraction. I'll be there in a second.
Hold on! I
You're
got
walking
put it in
funny,
my
dude.
I
What's
can't
wrong?
unclench. I can't unclench.
Oh dear. Well, anyway,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, this is why we almost die in Baldur's usually.
We're definitely not getting bought by fandom. Anyways,
Maybe by somebody else.
But yeah.
Thanks for the cry tears.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to Tuesday. It should be fun. Keep an eye out if you're listening to this when this is released, or here in chat on Twitch, twitch.tv/Destiny Digest. Keep an eye out on Tuesday. We might do like a talkover type thing here. So that should be fun. Moving on, we have Heavy Metal Tournament and Emblem. So on the 9th, starting on the 9th, they will be doing a creator like clash kind of thing with Heavy Metal, the activity where tanks are going to be versus Briggs. I think Dan and I were tank, right? Or Dan, were you Brig?
Only because I don't know how to drive a
You don't
Brig
know how
yet.
to drive it Brig. Okay. And
I
then
was
Tiddly
Brig.
was Team Brig.
Mhm.
Team
Bona,
Brig.
are you
Team
Team Brig or Team Tank?
I have
Yeah.
no fucking clue.
Okay. Well, you're
where's the
being put
twin?
on the
Like-
spot now to choose.
Which
Oh,
one would you rather drive in heavy
Yeah.
metal, a brig or a tank?
do I get to drive this? Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
You get to drive a Brig or a tank.
That's
Oh,
a new
fucking-
PvP mode, yeah.
Fucking brig.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, fucking brig. Let's go,
Okay.
Bona. All right.
So the Dans are outnumbered so far. We need to
Yeah,
find out
it's
from
okay.
the Seifa what team they're on. But Briggs and Tanks go boom. We're pitting 8 content creator teams against each other in a high octane tournament during Heavy Metal Week to see which team can become the Lords of Heavy Machinery. Because we don't yet know who's going to advance in the semis and the finals, they released a schedule in the TWID. Seems like there's going to be the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th are the days for the tournament. So keep your eyes on Twitch there. The winning team will receive a unique reward inspired by an in-game item. More details will come in the TWID sometime soon. Those of you watching can grab a cool emblem by tuning into the tournament. Watch any opted-in Destiny 2 streamer on Twitch for 1 hour between May 9th at 10 a.m. PT and May 16th at 10 a.m. PT to receive the Mad Dog emblem, which looks cool as hell. It's got a dragon on it, and
That's pretty cool.
It's got tanks and Briggs on a field of red off in the distance. It looks pretty neat. They'll also have the participating players and teams will have emblems to give away on that day. Update to 8.2.6 sandbox preview. So on the 6th, not only are we getting the reveal, but we're also getting a huge sandbox preview.
Yes.
Or the sandbox changes coming. For abilities, we have Crucible only prismatic supers will have reduced prismatic specific super cooldown penalty from 10 to 15%. They say the recent penalty to the super cooldown while on prismatic feels a bit too strong. So they've walked that back partially to make it more likely prismatic subclasses will be able to get their supers in longer trials in competitive matches. Scatter grenades have their damage reduced versus players by 15%. The grenade has been a bit of a power outlier in PvP for a while, so they're bringing it more in line. Hunters on the Prowl Void aspect they feel is too strong in PvP, and the utility needs some more limitations to force more deliberate usage. So they reduced PvP prey finding range from 45 to 25 meters. Reduced PvP hunt time from infinite to 15 seconds. Warlocks will have a lightning surge arc aspect. Can feel frustrating to play both with and against, and it feels like the damage against players can be highly variable. They clamp the variability of lightning surge damage against players and slightly increase the maximum damage dealt and reduced to the maximum damage dealt. All of those are only Crucible changes. What do you guys think of those for PvP?
On the Prowl was the one that personally I felt the most oppressive.
Mm-hmm.
It was also what I used to go flawless that first week. It was just everyone was just running it, so I was like, okay, I will put it on too, and got to the lighthouse. So also one of the reasons why I haven't played too much PvP this season since then, because there's been so many just on the Prowl hunters, and they're already annoying. So
Yeah.
I can't
Sounds
remember.
really wrong to say on the prowl.
I mean,
Just Dan walking around corners in like PvP going,
I'm a cat. I'm a
Did
cat.
it. Did it.
Yep.
Did it. Did it. Did it. Did it.
I don't really have any thoughts on those. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it feels like balancing choices.
Mhm.
So always
Yeah.
good.
I haven't played any PvP in a while, like
Yeah,
at least a month right
same
now.
to yeah,
Like,
same to. I don't
Mhm.
really have a point to comment because I haven't really been in modern PvP.
right.
Hunters
Uh,
are worse than I think they've ever been. This is just personal. Like
Okay.
it's they
Oh,
they just
really?
have so many tools, and they're also one of the best classes for PvP.
mhm.
And they just have so many tools that like when more people when you have more of that on a team,
Yeah.
it's rough.
So when you say the worst they've been, you mean like they're oppressive or like they're
Absolutely
like the
oppressive.
best character to bring in if you want to win because there's
It's it's almost a easy win with one.
yeah.
So when you have a bunch of them, that effective like on the prowl and all of their ability
Right.
stuff just starts stacking on top of each other, and then Radiant Dance Machine. It's oh my gosh,
That's a lot. That's
it
a
is
lot.
a lot, and
Yeah.
I have not enjoyed. I love on the prowl and PVE.
Mhm.
Love Radiant Dance Machines for PVE. Do not enjoy it at all in PvP. It makes me not want to play at all. I'd rather fight, which we were fighting. I'd rather fight all of the Titans that were just sitting behind boat charge barricades.
It's worse than that. Oh my
Than that,
goodness.
yes.
Wow.
So that's saying for me, that's saying something.
Yeah.
Sure. That I remember that was a pretty oppressive meta.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to the global changes that they will be doing to abilities. Hunters have quite the list of changes here. So, Withering Blade, Stasis and Prismatic Melee. This melee was underperforming in PvP and needed a PvE consistency bump, so they increased tracking strength by 20% and increased the damage by 10%. All throwing knife melees, the note here, they fixed an issue where throwing knives were not tracking correctly. Lightweight knife increased tracking shape size by 10%. They increased the tracking strength by 20. The fan of knives, they increased the tracking shape by 15%. The note on this saying, thanks to player feedback, we identified an issue that was causing the hunter's throwing knife melees to track targets inconsistently. On top of that, we further improved the tracking of lightweight knives and to make them a more attractive option. I just remembered the time that I threw a fan of knives away from Riven, and all of the knives tracked directly to her eyes and killed everybody. So that was fun. On the Prowl Void aspect, on the Prowl Assassinations now provide an instant bump of ability energy instead of doing it over time. This makes eliminating a target more immediately satisfying and makes for easier looping in PvE. So they reduce prey finding cooldown from 0.5 seconds to 0.1, and ability energy is now granted immediately. The other thing is that they note here is Warlocks. Lightning Surge, Arc Aspect slightly increase the follow-up melee suppression time after Lightning Surge to make Shoulder Charge and other, or to match Shoulder Charge and other similar abilities. We have a lot of changes here. For the weapon sandbox, I'm just going to breeze right through those. So Legacy Frame Pulse Rifles, the origin trait now reduces ADS damage fall-off scalar by 0.1. You will also see Rapid Fire Pulse Rifles get increased base damage from 14.5 to 15, and increased precision damage from 27.6 to 27.8. So like just little tweaks there. Hand cannons, heavy bursts have increased ADS damage fall-off scalar from 1.5 to 1.6. Adaptive Judgment. Judgment will be returning with some hollow foil treatment during Rites of the Nine. We are taking this opportunity to adjust the Judgment stats to a more competitive with more adaptive hand cannons. All versions of this weapon have been updated. Magazine size increased from 9 to 11. The reload increased from 40 to 45, and the handling increased from 42 up to 55. So that feels like a more significant change there in the handling. Auto rifles, high impact auto rifles increased base damage by 4%. Precision increased the base damage 3%, reduced the precision damage scalar slightly to offset that. A lot of fall off scalar stuff for submachine guns, from 1.4 to 1.5 5 times for ADS damage fall off. Shotguns, heavy burst slug increased damage by 8%. Weapon perks for one quiet moment now has 2 stacks. One that activates after 1 second to being out of combat, for 50% of the bonus, and the other at 2 seconds. Alacrity now activates at reduced effectiveness whenever a teammate dies. Reaches a maximum effectiveness when 2 or more teammates are currently dead. I think the things that probably are going to affect most people, especially when a contest thing is coming up here on Tuesday. Lord of Wolves has been an absolute beast within the realm of PvE for many months now. Both Atheon and Templar have been shaking in their proverbial boots whenever Guardians readied their weapons for DPS phases. Also Rolk. also any boss in the game that you could just run up on. While we found Lord of Wolves was far outperforming where we wanted it to be, we decided to let it ride for most of Heresy for a little meta time period. With Rites of the 9 arriving soon, it is time to rein it in. A reduced hipfire damage in PvE by 30%.
Chunky.
How do you guys feel about that?
I love that they let us have fun with it, even though it was overtuned.
Yeah.
And it wasn't supposed to be overtuned like that. So it was so much fun. I really enjoyed it, and I'm okay with it. I understand they have to pull it back for Rite of the 9. I understand, but it was so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad they let it have a little crazy moment. It's great. Only 30%. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
I don't know if it kills
feels like it should be
'cause
more. It's still gonna be really good.
30% doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like that gun was only doing 30% more damage. You know?
Yeah. I
Right.
wonder if it's still going to be super good. I mean, like that. The thing about Destiny players is they read this TWID and they're like, "Oh, Lord of Wolves is getting nerfed," and that's all they see, and they don't like go in and test it. They just throw, "Okay, well, I'm gonna delete it," and
it probably will still be good.
Yeah,
if you've shot like the ADS one,
Yeah.
have you shot it in that mode while it's like hipfire is busted right now? It does
I
no
definitely
damage.
haven't. I definitely haven't done that.
I wanted to
'cause I
see
didn't know
like
the
maybe it was
hipfire.
everything. No, the hipfire obviously is busted, but the normal one it does like no damage,
Yeah.
which is interesting. So 30%. It's
Yeah,
probably just pulling it back and still making it competitive.
I think it'll still be good. Like I think about Consecration when they nerfed Consecration, which was definitely wildly overtuned, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's unusable." It's actually still really excellent.
Still
like,
really good.
It's still an excellent Titan build. I love reaching for it now that you know. But I'm glad it had its moment to be overtuned because it meant that I now have experience with it in my kit, and I have fun, and I'll pull it out occasionally and rock it in GMs or whatever. So
we were walloping everybody today with it. Because I was like, guys,
it's still good, right, dude? It's good.
Yeah, it's good. And like, they're gonna tune it on Tuesday, and I really like what Fool says is like, so Templar will take 13 seconds to kill instead of 12 or instead of 10.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's the thing is like that's what I'm saying is like when something gets nerfed, I don't think they're trying to nerf it into the ground. I think they just want it to be an option among many instead of like the oppressive meta.
Yeah.
So I think
I think it'll
still
just,
be very good.
Gut it into the ground. And now, like you said, it seems that they are like, okay, maybe this is busted, but hey, let's pull it back some, but still make it something useful.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's weird because when's the last time we pulled out Lord of Wolves and Queenbreaker and not been laughed at or laughed at someone just trying to troll?
Right.
You know,
I have literally never used Queensbreaker until this season. So there you
I
go.
used it one time back when it was like an okay
Gambit.
sniper in Scourge of the Past.
Sure, sure.
It was
That was
a
the only
Gambit
Yeah.
Gambit Queen for a
yeah,
while, I believe,
yeah,
too.
when
And Gambit, yeah.
Sleeper,
Oh, really? But in
Sleeper
but
Simulant got
I was
nerfed,
gonna say
and that was like next
even
best thing.
then with the Gambit, like it must not have been the only choice because I've never used it in Gambit.
It was
must have been
the only
another-
choice for invading for a small like
window
couple
of time.
weeks.
Yeah.
Right after
Yeah.
Sleeper got nerfed.
Gotcha.
And it was only
I never
because of
experienced
it
that.
had
Yeah.
Sleeper got his aim assist nerfed, but Queenbreaker didn't, and Queenbreaker had like this blinding effect, so it was really good for invading.
Yeah, sure.
And after they fixed that, it was okay. Well, we don't use it anywhere now.
Anywhere, and it was like we're like
Mhm.
delete, pull from collections.
And it was only
Okay.
good in Scourge of the Past. I used it for speed runs. Like the single fire quick shot was
Yeah.
good, but it was mainly because of like the little synergy thing when you stood by your player in Scourge. It made it pretty good.
Mhm.
So that's the only time I remember using it and not being like, man, why are you using Queenbreaker? So this is weird. I personally like it. So I hope that now that I know how to use Lord of Wolves, 'cause I didn't use it in PvP, I hope I can keep using it after Tuesday.
Yeah.
I think it's fun because it is a big damage option, but it's a risk reward scenario,
Definitely.
especially with like the AoE stomp melee that all bosses, even floating ones, have in Destiny. Like you get in there and you are high risk, high reward. So big
Yeah.
damage, but big risk. And also it's a specific use case because like bosses that are really far away, you can't use it on those bosses. So it's like I think that it can still be really powerful in very specific situations and make sense that way.
It's made during raid helps very easy. I will say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's an old gun. It's one that probably
Mhm.
everybody
Everyone has
Everyone
it.
has everyone
It's
has
like,
it.
Hey,
And
just
all you have to
bring
do
that
is press
out.
fire. Just
Yeah.
spam fire button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, just you know, just click your
Mhm.
button. You'll
Yeah.
profit. It's easy.
Just hip fire, dum dum.
That's been the nicest thing
Like,
about
and that's me
Queenbreaker
talking to
and
myself.
Lord of Wolves is everyone has it.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is point and
Yeah.
click.
Point
And
click.
there's no like skill curve.
Right.
No, it's not difficult to use. You don't like, and I feel like that's kind
There's
of been
not. I still
something-
miss my shots.
That's
Just
why you
bring
get
a
somebody with
divinity. Oh,
divinity.
wait.
Yeah. I just feel like I think that you know, because the game has been out so long and there's so many exotics that Bungie has kind of gotten more creative with like, here's an exotic weapon, but you have to pick up an orb or you have to
Yeah.
you know, do a game code to get it to work, right? It's like they make them the more they release, the more complicated their use becomes. I'm
Mhm.
thinking of like you know, oh gosh, what's the solar sword where you have to charge it first or whatever?
Lament.
Yeah, lament, which is a
Oh,
great,
yeah.
a great exotic, and I love it, but it's not a point and click exotic. Like you
Right.
have, there's like a
You
specific
gotta
way to
charge
use
and
it
do the
because you have to
combo.
charge it, and you know, and if you mess up the charge, then it's not going to hit for as much damage, and so like there's like a skill to using it. Unlike
Mhm.
you know, you pull out Risk Runner and it's just like pew, 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 I have a shield and I'm invincible. You know, like it's so I feel like the more they release,
That
the more
sounds like your
creative and
TIE
more
fighter.
Risk Runner, TIE Fighter, same sound. I don't know. I kind of like that about them. They're both like kind of like dumb exotics. You know, they're
Mhm.
just like easy to use.
Because also, like you said, it's
So-
exotics that everyone has in their vault and haven't been used in a long time.
Yeah.
And I hope, as much as I really like new exotics, don't stop doing that, Bungie. But
Yeah.
there's so many exotics that would sit and collect dust that all they need is just the right rework.
Mhm.
And now we have
They-
more exotics options, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Give us one old exotic that you can, and what would they change it? What would they change it to do, Dan?
What would they change to do? I have no idea because I would have never
Yeah.
thought for Queenbreaker to get this change and it being good.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Give us
like
something.
I am not smart
But-
enough.
Fine, something old that you think needs to like come back out again.
Hmm.
So that's tough.
Black Talon.
Honestly, anything from year one. Sweet
Black
Business.
Talon.
There you go. Sweet Business could use a rework.
1,000
top of
voices.
my head.
Every fifth shot is a
Deterministic chaos. could definitely use a rework. Now that we have all of the weakening
true.
and the debuff stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing: is like it's not just reworking exotics, but it's also how they fit with the artifact. And
Yeah.
so if you have an exotic that gets buffed and then it aligns really well with the artifact or the elemental focus that season, like Arc as a focus, that's I mean that's part of the reason that Queensbreaker is so excellent is a particle reconstruction.
But we would probably
and
still
Arc
use it
focus,
after
so-
though, right? Like
Yeah, I think
sure
so.
it won't be as strong, but
Not quite as strong, but I mean, like I think that Destiny, what they do well is rotating metas, and I think that's what this twit is about. Is like we're gonna pull some stuff forward, pull some stuff back, pull some stuff forward. It's fun because it keeps the game fresh. It allows us to pull out exotics that we don't normally use and have fun with them. But I do think that there definitely is kind of like Destiny gamers are kind of like meta. They glom onto the whatever the best performing thing is the time, which I understand. Like I get that, but I think in order for something to be pulled forward, it can't just be buffed a little bit. It has to be like the choice, and then you're gonna pull it out. You know. So like in terms of these changes, I'm not sure if any of these are going to be like, oh, this is going to be the choice. It's going to be pulled forward that much, but I don't know.
yeah, it could be something that they didn't even talk about that falls through the cracks again.
Yeah, and we also don't know what the artifact is going to look like. So you know, when that swaps over, so that may affect like
They might take the artifact away. We don't know what's happening.
Oh, that's right. Big changes coming. Who knows? I hope they don't. I think the artifact is a really great way to keep the game fresh. I think it's really smart. It's because it allows them to do changes, significant changes without sunsetting, which people are really pissed about. So
here's a question, because I've asked people before. Would you like to see a version of the game where artifacts stick around, but they can't be used in certain content?
No. Honestly, no.
Because I've had people say that they wish they could use old artifacts from like years ago.
I mean, it might
You
be
just have the same people running destabilizing, particle deconstruction. Like,
I don't know. There's been some really like what was the ammo one that was super good? Like I feel like I can go back to particular artifacts and say this is the
like
this one was really good. This is the like I mean it might be cool to be able to have some kind of you know, perk, like overpowered perk of the week, and then you get to like as a community pick that, and like you know, like that rotates or something like that. Like that might
solo
be cool.
operative would always win. Sammy would
Solo
just be
operative is excellent, but like what if
they should probably honestly just get rid of that artifact and make it like a part of the system, to be honest.
Solo operative is great. I mean, I like just the amount of you know, game breaking things they could do.
Yeah.
Like all of the solo witness that they did under that is, I don't know, it's just really, really cool to watch all that.
The way that the artifact system works and the way that like we've abused so many things from the artifacts, like keeping them around just adds another pain point in the balancing of SANDBOX.
Yeah.
I could see having a cascading effect.
They've done it in the past, though. If you think about it, they've taken perks.
Yeah, they brought back things,
and they brought them back in a less strong version.
Sure.
But if you have the option to grab anything from that pool, like that
would be crazy. I feel like if you did something like that, you would have to make it like limited. It couldn't be like
I'm saying you can't grab all the busted stuff.
Right.
So like if you were like, okay, we're integrating an artifact perk rotation into Rite of the Nine, and then like there's a different weekly one, like the community votes on it, like they vote on trials maps, and then you get to have like one crazy strong one, and of these three, like solo operative, like ammo, like particle reconstruction, whatever 3 ones you want.
What if they added it like boons in the current activity on the Dreadnought?
Yeah,
like
I only mention that because there's a lot of them like that I would like to see come back, and there's a lot of them that are, they might not be broken, but they allow for different players to use different weapons for different experiences, different loadouts, and there's some really interesting artifact perks. It might not be the last column thing, but there might be some really interesting ones that we just get it once and we don't see it again.
Yeah, yeah,
for a
yeah.
long time.
I
And if they do bring it
feel
back,
like
it's just not even nearly as good.
I think it could work in like a specific activity. I think
Yeah.
Like a
game wide,
PvP mode or
like
something.
yeah, like a
I don't
PvP
mean like
mode or
PvP
even a
in game,
PvE
like, yeah,
mode.
no.
Yeah, I think that would be fine. But yeah.
Um, Finality's Augur, getting back into the exotic weapons.
Yes.
They've added a quality of life change, several quality of life changes that should make using the weapon an overall smoother experience. They increase the duration that a target is painted to match the duration of the turret. The environmental target marker now marks additional targets that enter the zone until it's or after its initial creation. It now grants an automatic reload from reserves after deploying a turret. They reduce the turret's self damage by 85% and increase the turret's damage by 10%. So, do we see more of this in in-game activities? Like, what do we? How do we feel about Finality's Augur?
I see it
which
being
came from
usable in
Sunder
like
Doctor?
solo, not in game. Well, not
Yeah.
in like team base. Yeah.
Okay.
If you have Finality's Augur and have the Catalyst, it's actually pretty good damage.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with like the linear artifact thing. Its damage is pretty strong because it's got like bait and switch and stuff. And it getting the ability to mark more targets and also reload will make for more DPS in like a boss scenario.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it being really strong. Not better than Queenbreaker, but
Yeah.
usable. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I pulled it out once to use. And I was like, that's neat. And then that was it.
It takes a lot of setup, and I don't
Mhm.
blame you. Like if someone has to use Finality's Augur or Queenbreaker, Queenbreaker's gonna win every time because it's just point and click.
Sure.
You don't gotta do any like getting a couple stacks, making a turret,
Mhm.
pointed at a target, you know.
Anything to add before we move on to the exotic armor section of the TWID? Okay. Hunters, the Radiance Dance Machines, the note says the goal of the Radiant Dance Machines rework was to introduce a new style of gameplay in PvP centered around aggressive close range play with primary weapons. While this has happened in practice and we have received a large amount of feedback that the playstyle itself is fun to use, we need to make sure that at its peak it is still in band with the other playstyles that exist in high-end Crucible gameplay. Unfortunately, due to differences between the input devices, the current tuning for Radiant Dance Machines continues to remain problematic on mouse and keyboard while being significantly less effective on controller. The last word included, which has been addressed in the tuning specifically below. Usage reflects this, with Radiant Dance Machines seeing 45% higher usage on mouse and keyboard. Mouse and keyboard already benefits from having significantly higher aim assist, accuracy, and stability while hip firing than controller does. And stacking those benefits with the ones from Radiant Dance Machine is allowing some weapons to perform outside of their intended bounds. So they reduce the bonuses granted to primary weapons when hip firing, align the hip fire bonuses to range and accuracy with values granted by the hip fire grip perk instead of the legacy frame intrinsic perk. And they also say that although the downtime is lower on Radiant Dance Machines, the dodge uptime is already lower on Radiant Dance Machines than it is with some other Hunter exotics. They wanted to reduce the class ability refund benefit just a bit in PvP to make it less of a focal point of the exotic. Did you guys feel? Like I said, I haven't played PvP in a month. Did you guys feel like it was like pretty? Radiant Dance Machines were pretty prevalent and
Absolutely.
disruptive? Yeah.
Yep.
Do you feel
They
like
should
this is
delete them
enough
from the game.
Do you feel like this is enough to bring them in bound?
I want to hold off until I see them
Gotcha.
because I think sometimes for PvP, what I've noticed,
Mhm.
just historically, is sometimes they'll nerf something and it will still be really good, but the fact that it's nerfed will take enough people off of it
Mhm.
that it won't be as used. sometimes people will be okay, it's nerfed. Well, I'm never using it again, and not still keep it on to see if it's still good. So it might just incentivize people or disincentivize people from using it, even if it isn't enough. But I'll just wait and see.
Yeah. To kind of add to this, they also took the Lunafaction boots and Lion Ramparts and added accuracy and range hip fire bonuses from Radiant Dance Machines to Lion Rampart to Lunafaction and Lion Rampart for primary ammo weapons only. These hip fire benefits are always active, not just when airborne. And for Warlocks, they're always active, not just when you're in a rift. So they're kind of like leveling the playing field there. And I see that and I respect it. And I just hope. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like there's going to be
I don't know. Yeah.
a lot more classes doing the same thing. I guess. I don't know.
I can see it now. All the Titans just floating with lions off the side of the map, like the Warlock thing.
Yeah, the plus 50 airborne effectiveness bonus is now always active on Lion Ramparts, not just when you're hip firing when
the entire
airborne.
PvP matches, everyone just flying around. Just imagine.
Yeah. For Lunafaction boots, they decrease the range bonus granted by Empowering Rift by 50% in PvP, only to reduce occurrences of extremely long range kills with short range weapons like fusions and slug shotguns. We are almost through this, so we're just going to power through the 3 new rewards coming. We have Nature Reclaimed, which is a solar lightweight scout rifle that is coming in Iron Banner. It has Killing Wind, Outlaw, Heal Clip, Lone Wolf, Rapid Hit, and Shoot to Loot in column 3, and in column 4, Desperate Measures, Kill Clip, Incandescent, Precision Instrument, Box Breathing, and Explosive Payload. That seems really good.
Yeah.
Trials of Osiris has an arc precision slug shotgun from the Suros Foundry that has Envious Assassin, Lone Wolf, Offhand Strike, Loose Change, Perpetual Motion Slide Shot, and Threat Detector. And column 4, it has Bait and Switch, Closing Time, Cascade Point, Fragile Focus, Jolting Feedback, Opening Shot, and Precision Instrument. For Nightfalls, we get Cruel Mercy, which is an arc heavy burst pulse rifle from the Omelon Foundry. And it has Dragonfly, Demolitionist, Eddy Current, Fourth Time's the Charm, and Keep Away in Lone Wolf in column 3. And in column 4, Jolting Feedback, Adrenaline Junkie, Head Seeker, Frenzy, Kill Clip, and Desperado. These seem pretty, or at least like the Nature Reclaimed from Iron Banner seems very strong and probably a reason to hop into that activity. But yeah, we'll see. Anybody else have any thoughts on that?
Like just wait and see, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. But there are some really amazing possible perk combos on the new stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some good stuff in there.
Sounds good. Yeah,
Yep.
I'm looking at.
I feel like the Pulse in particular looks really, really exciting. Like most excited for that one probably.
Especially with how it will integrate into the arc system for the season.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's going to be kind of nutty.
I feel like Jolting Feedback would be super fun on that. But yeah, we'll see. I need to get into my hands.
I'm going to ask for questions here. Fool said that it felt like Radiant Dance Machines had an unintended buff to certain exotics that shouldn't have had that accuracy bonus, looking at Limonarch.
Yeah.
And Subsistent Sasquatch says Dragonfly plus Jolting Feedback. That is something that they're looking forward to here.
Are they looking forward to?
Or at least it says Pride Pog is the emote that they shared afterward.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a good combo. Yep. Yeah.
Well, so we don't have any questions for this evening, from what I'm gathering. So, why don't we, Pope of Copium says, is there going to be any new weapons that are a must get from the new activity? So from the Rites of the Nine.
I do
Gotta
not
look at them.
have the
I gotta
of
pull
the-
that up and see.
There's not any like. Some people are talking about the rocket from Ghost of the Deep might have some new perks
Mm-hmm.
that are worth it, but like, I don't know if there's any perk that Hazen's Vengeance doesn't already have that
Right.
we would want on that rocket. I guess you would only want it for stasis, like synergy.
Right. But then you're also running Ghost of the Deep, which isn't like my favorite ever.
it's my least favorite ever.
Yeah.
It's definitely the most in something.
We'll see, man.
Yeah, I'm
Some like there's people out there. Do you believe that actually like, oh yeah, Ghost is my favorite dungeon? And I'm just like, I don't want to be that guy, but your opinion is now invalid on every single subject.
I imagine, you know how like there's those people out there who will have like their dungeon report in like Shadow Throne will have like, I don't know, 9900 or
Mhm.
999, like some 4-digit number. They just love that dungeon, they just do it a whole bunch. There's someone out there who wakes up every day and is like, let me go get 3 clears
I'm about to go find
of Ghost of the Deep every day.
right.
Like they
Dungeon
have
report,
nothing,
D2.
they have 1 clear of every dungeon. But Ghost, they have 40,000.
Okay, full clear leaderboards for Ghosts of the Deep. Oh my fucking god.
What's the number?
Winky
Over
has
or
done
under
1,000 under.
Okay.
Winky has done 1,900.
Shout out to you, Winky.
Is there anyone I recognize?
Probably not.
Is that like checkpoints, like boss checkpoints? I'm assuming. That's if not, that's a significant. I
That'd
mean,
be
either way,
full.
it's
I
a
think you said
significant
full
time
clear.
investment. But
I think it's full clears.
Yeah.
I don't recognize. Oh, Havoc. I recognize Havoc. Number 35, but I don't recognize anyone else in the top 50.
What is 35?
Mm.
How many is that?
Oh,
If
35.
1 is
45.
1,000, like 1,000.
148.
That's
No
a drop
thanks,
off.
dude.
That is a drop off. 35 is 100 ghost clears, and 1 is 1,000. Man,
So you've got Psy the Shark YouTube, who's
How many
done
do I have? Hold on.
386.
I probably have like
386
5.
Sherpas. Good on him for like getting 386 people through it.
That's amazing, actually. That's a lot of patience right there.
31 ghosts. Wow.
Yeah. Patience.
All right. Well, see, we did have several questions come in during this time here. I as far as like must have weapons, I mean, right now I'm kind of sitting flush. Like I don't
Yeah.
really feel like I need anything specific. Like I just deleted my vault and I already have all
There's
my,
none of them that I want
my
as
vault.
of right now.
Yeah. I don't think, I mean, unless something like magically made me better, it helps just overnight from one of those. I don't see it necessarily taking my
And
favorite.
they don't have the polygon
taking
look
a place.
anymore either. So
Yeah, they don't have the polygon look anymore. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's not much for
something
me.
could like come in and we might want it, but
Yeah. But like,
what are the odds of that?
yeah, if it's something that I haven't already built up over the past however many months,
Mhm.
then
Right.
like I've
Would you say this is more for lapsed players? Like, it feels more like
absolutely.
a thing for
Well,
like lapsed players.
it feels like a
Not
thing
the
for
advantages
lapsed
to
players
weapons.
and people who did not have access, because Rites of the Nine has dungeons that were part of the dungeon pass that were not free. So like for people
Good
who
point. Oh,
Yeah. So for people
That's
who
a good
didn't
point.
have those, this is their first time
Interesting.
hopping in. being able to do higher difficulty versions of them will be.
This isn't
Wonderful.
all the dungeons, though, right? There was a couple others that were a part of the Dungeon Key stuff. This is
It's Spire, it's Ghost of the Deep, and it's Prophecy. So it's
okay.
those
So
three.
the only other ones that were a part of the Key stuff was it started with Grasp
Mm-hmm.
and ended with the Warlord's Ruin. So this is like what the three between that. Well,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. Okay.
And I don't know why.
That's a good point because they
Yeah.
are getting rid of the key thing for dungeons. So
Mm-hmm. And
Hmm.
just folding it into the price of expansions.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next question here. Give me just a second. The next question is from Fool. Can I ask a question outside of D2? Are there any games coming
No,
now?
he can't. He's
No,
not
no,
allowed.
no, 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 no.
He's not allowed. I've
He
seen the
goes-
question. He's not allowed.
He says, "Can we? Are there any games coming now in Q2 or Q3 that you're looking forward to? I'm looking forward to playing Dune in June," says Fool.
He's making fun of me.
Borderlands 4.
Borderlands 4, definitely. The
That's a
And
good
go see your take.
preview on Wednesday, the 15-minute preview, that was cool.
Oh, was there a preview for it?
There was, yeah,
It was. I was pleasantly surprised. I will say that
yeah.
they answered a lot of my
That's good.
questions. A
Mhm.
fair amount.
Excited for you guys. Excited for you guys. I know it's a big thing. Like it's for me, that's like on the level of like anything new for like Mass Effect or whatever. I know a lot of people are like that's their game of their life. You know,
I
Like,
need Mass Effect 4 in my life.
we need it.
Mm.
Maybe N7 Day this year. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a
Maybe.
lot of good games coming out. Sure.
But
Yeah.
yes, I am looking forward to Dune in June. He's making fun of me because whenever I say Dune, I've had to change the way I say it because whenever I say it as an Aussie, I say they sound the same.
Dune
Say it
in
again?
June?
Dune in
June
June
Awakening. June Awakening.
It does sound like June Awakening.
does sound like Dune Awakening.
He's making fun of me.
Is he
June
making fun of you if it's true?
Well, you're never gonna forget when it's coming out.
Exactly.
There you go.
right. I'll never
There you
forget that. Someone will be like, "Oh, when did Dune Awakening come out?" Like 10 years in the future. I'm like, June.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yes, no, I'm very much looking forward to that. They delayed it 3 weeks. We were supposed to be playing it
Mhm.
in 10 days. In 10
Mhm.
days, it's supposed to come out in early access. They've delayed it 3 weeks. So now I have to wait a month and 1 month today to play
Hey, at
it.
least you don't have to wait till May 26th for GTA.
Yeah. Dude, so
that is
was
going to
huge.
kill Star Citizen. Star Citizen
Why Star
finally came
Citizen?
out because it finally came out with a
With a date?
release date for their single player
Oh,
game
no.
after 12 years. Finally came out with it next year, early next year. GTA comes out and says, "Oh yeah, we're delaying it to about that time." Fuck you, Rockstar. You've just killed Star Citizen. They now needs to delay like 6 months at least. Which
Well, I'm
they're
curious how
pretty
many games
fucking
are gonna
good at
push up,
doing that.
though.
They're pretty
Yeah.
good at delaying shit. Freaking
No, they've always been.
They always have.
Yeah.
Still,
GTA 5 got
now is a
delayed.
reason for him to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious. So, like, now that like all the studios know when GTA 6 is like
Mhm.
this,
Yeah.
they say we're coming out this day.
Yeah.
How many
like,
games
come
are
out
like,
We're
okay,
playing
Christmas.
around
we
it
know.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like
Get
we
it-
were
get it-
talking,
get
a
it
few
out
weeks ago,
before
like,
Christmas.
all that
Yep.
good- all the people were talking about. We were talking about Marathon. We were
Yeah.
talking about Borderlands 4. We were talking about just Destiny content as well as other games. How they were waiting for GTA to make their move
Mm-hmm.
before they could shift all the stuff around. I wonder how many games are going to push up their launch date now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because at first they were like,
Everyone
okay,
gone
we're going to put
crunch
out
and-
in early 2026.
Mhm.
And now they're like, well, we can't do that. We got to go either earlier to next summer.
Yeah.
Yep, no, 100% be the case. Which I'm hope there were a lot of games I was waiting for. Light No Fire being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Which is from the same developers that did
Man's
what's
Sky?
the other space one? No Man's Sky. So,
Mhm.
but it's like a
Oh,
fantasy
okay.
It's a fantasy one. Definitely go check it out. I'm super excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very excited for it. So,
Is it a game
but
like
they've been
No
delayed.
Man's Sky?
Yes.
It's No Man's
like,
Sky, but fantasy, and you
Mhm.
could literally walk.
Oh.
It's all procedurally generated, right? But you could walk around the planet and come back to this spot, but it would take you however long that would take. It's an Earth-size planet,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
you could walk the length of it and get around it. And there's like floating mountains and everything you see off in the distance you can get to.
We've heard that before,
love
though,
that.
with Destiny.
Oh yeah. They said that with No Man's Sky as well. So, but maybe I feel like he was probably the developer.
But they turned they turned it around. No Man's Sky, I must admit,
They
I
did.
Yeah.
hated that game in the beginning. But yeah, can happily say they turned it around. So yeah, like you said, they've learnt from that, and
They've learned,
what they're
yeah.
building now really excites me. So
Fool said, wasn't BL4's release pushed forward in September? Yes. They moved
Yeah, 2
to
weeks.
September 12th instead of September
Must be
23rd. September 23rd would have put them in direct competition with Marathon, even though like maybe those two crowds are not the same. But for me,
But the reasoning is interesting.
okay. Go
what's the
ahead.
reasoning?
What was the reasoning for it?
Well, they said the reason that they pushed up Borderlands 4 was development was going so good
Mm-hmm.
that they had they were going to be done significantly earlier.
Okay.
That's what Randy said.
Well, that's Randy
And
though.
That
He's
is
also-
Randy.
He said several things about a
To put that
magic
into
trick that he had
context,
on a
that's
USB.
Randy. Yes, he said a lot of
Sony paid
interesting
him off.
stuff. He's an interesting guy, but he said he's the one that announced. He said Borderlands 4 is going so well, we might as well release it early.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was like, okay. I was going to ask y'all, has any game company that you followed done that?
Just
Where
released
there was a
early.
release date and it released early. I couldn't think of. I know we all have ones where they've delayed it a couple weeks, but
Yeah. Did Rainbreaker
releasing it 2
Release
weeks
early?
early is interesting.
Did Rainbreaker release early? Or was that
That I don't know.
So Rainbreaker, the studio behind that had they folded before the
Okay.
release of that game. And so like, I want to say that maybe it was moved up a little bit, but because of that kind of issue.
2 weeks is just an odd amount, though. Like,
Yeah.
we're just gonna push up 2 weeks.
More time on the market. Like just like
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
when does technically like the revenue quarter end? Is that like
If it comes out with
October?
any fucking issues, we have all the reason in the world to like light that shit up.
Yeah.
You're gonna get blocked by Randy. Any criticism,
Yeah.
just gonna be like, you're wrong.
I'm not
That's
that
right.
kind
I'll
of
send you a
gaming
bunch of
fan, though.
fucking USB drives in the mail.
Different magic tricks.
That one guy that got the Fallout 4 game for free, the collector's edition, when he sent in bottle caps. If I just send in boxes and boxes of USBs, do I get a Borderlands 4 for free?
No.
Well, he's also big into like magic, so send him some magic cards.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! No, this is getting too expensive.
No, not Magic the Gathering,
This-
like actual
Just
magic.
just magic cards. Just magic
Oh,
tricks.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Not
oh.
Magic the
So
Gathering.
like a
no.
deck of all aces. Oh, I can do that.
Yeah.
The next question that we have comes from the Pope of Copium. Any thoughts on the lawsuit about the Red War? Are you guys familiar with this?
Yeah.
Vaguely. I read a little bit about it, but I didn't
Okay.
read too much.
So this has been
It's
an
the
ongoing
stupidest thing
thing. So this is I'm pulling this from an article from Paul Tassi on Forbes. Destiny 2 content vaulting causes more legal problems for Bungie. So essentially, an author was like, "Hey, Bungie ripped off my shit. Like they
Said
ripped
they
off
wrote
my
the
wow.
Red
story.
War.
Yeah, they ripped off my story for the Red War, from the Red War, and used it in their video game. And now they have to prove that they didn't steal that story. Unfortunately, Bungie is claiming, well, we already vaulted all that stuff, and they're using as evidence videos from like from YouTubers, from various YouTubers. It says the problem is that because the content can't be played even more, even internally at Bungie, they are unable to produce a working copy to show the judge.
Oh wow.
Rather, they've had to submit
Yep.
things like Wikipedia entries and creator lore videos. And the judge has
Yep.
said that that's not enough and rejected Bungie's motion to dismiss. The thrust of the issue here
Dang.
is that the plaintiff's lawsuit is not about the wikis or the lore videos. It's about content from the literal game, the game that is not able to be produced. That is not able to be produced as actual evidence. A quote is, rather than compare a brief movie scene and a copyright for a pinball machine, it appears the defendant is asking the court to compare a collection of short writings to 13 plus hours of third-party originated YouTube videos of Destiny 2 and several third-party originated online Destinypedia pages.
Wow. That's
So is
crazy.
he saying that he made the whole Red War story before
He's-
D2 came out?
He's saying that he wrote it, and that like before, and that somebody saw it and was like, yes, I'm going to put that into this video game that's going to sell millions of copies.
Is there a reason they waited so long? I don't want to say why wait, but like,
Oh, I cannot tell you like what the plaintiffs.
I would have expected this like back in 2017 when Red War first came out, not like.
Yeah, it's like
Who was the
it's-
game lead at the time?
This
It
seems.
was
Would have been Luke Smith.
It was Luke Smith.
yeah, Luke Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna get in so much fucking trouble at the moment with this.
So is it like currently is all this leaning Bungie's way or the opposite way?
So according to the article, it
Opposite.
says this doesn't mean Bungie is about to lose the lawsuit, even if it's a hiccup. The claims the plaintiff have made about what has taken seem often like very, very generalized science fiction concepts. A large object over Earth being one of them, right? Plaintiff is claiming outright plagiarism,
Okay.
which seems like it will be exceptionally hard to prove given his claims. So that's
So that's how the DCV gets removed. A lawsuit.
I know this is they're gonna reintroduce the
They
they're
have
like,
to get
wow,
rid
we
of the
gotta
DCV
put
for
Red
this?
War back in the game.
Asefa
Legally.
would lose her shit if they put it back. If that was a thing on Tuesday,
A lawsuit forced them to put all
Force
of
them-
like
Yeah,
just
we're
drop the DCV.
uncensored content, guys.
so another
Could
thing.
you
that's-
imagine the live chat for that stream?
So another
my
thing for
goodness.
this, let me look this up because I saw a tweet regarding this yesterday from Robert Brooks about this lawsuit. And he said, what's funny, I'm going to post the link to it here in the chat. Copy link to the post. I'm going to put that here. And then I'm going to put that. That's not what I wanted to do.
And I say that in a joking manner, but at the same time, it's like if the lawsuit was big enough and like
Right.
they
And Bungie doesn't lose lawsuits.
don't want to
generally.
deal with it, you know,
Right.
like, and they think that they look like, will there be a timeline where they're like, you know what?
Right.
In order for us to win this, we have to bring this back into the game
So
so we can prove it.
Robert Brooks on Blue Sky, aka Sphinxian, who was let go as part of some of the layoffs earlier this year, said, "What's funny is that there's definitely old documentation that still exists that shows the development evolution of the Red War story, characters, and I imagine would help this case. I definitely know where it's saved." Because I was adamant
know
about
where it is.
record keeping, and now I'm wondering if
Ah.
they do.
Oh, good job, fire people who know it's not.
Yeah. They got to bring him back.
All right,
It sounds like one of those-
Someone with the key. He knows the
Dude.
code.
I believe he works at. I
That could be
believe
one of
they
those
work at-
Reddit stories you read, like where it's like my boss fired me, but they need me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the so Sphinxian, like I believe now works at CD Projekt Red. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. Who knows? Who knows how that's going to turn out? I don't know. Like without being a judge, without being on that jury, without seeing all the evidence that is laid out before and necessarily what's going on, I don't have really any
That's tough,
insight in
though.
that. Yeah.
Could you imagine being on the jury, being a Destiny player?
I was
and
gonna
like,
say the
you know
judge is a
what?
Destiny
I'm
fan."
just
You
I'm
wouldn't have
just
been on
gonna
that.
fucking like throw this case out. Like I'm gonna have to require them to bring back the DCV.
Remove the DCV, and I dropped the lawsuit. There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
You wouldn't have been on that jury. They would have been like, they would have been like, "Have you ever played a video game?" And they'd be like, "Yeah," and
That's
they're like,
true,
"All right,
yeah.
you're dismissed."
Nope.
Like,
You know when you get like the mob gets people to like intimidate jurors and stuff. Could we do that? Could we intimidate the jurors to swing that our way?
I'm definitely not
Like
going to
as
talk
a,
about
as a
advocate for something that is definitely illegal here in the United States.
I'm
definitely not going to
a
do that.
foreigner. I'll do it.
That's kind of already happening here. So
Yeah, it's happening here all the time. From a shitbag. So I'm not really advocating for that
Wouldn't be
on
that
any level
unique.
right now. So that was
You're
that
right.
story.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah. They definitely wouldn't keep. They definitely.
I don't know. It
wouldn't
was
keep you if you
that deep
played
of
video-
a situation
Yeah, it
because I was
seems-
thinking it was like the there was an art one that happened a few years ago
Yeah,
where
Yeah.
Bungie put out an art thing, and then it came out that some guy on DeviantArt had that was their stuff, and they kind of
Oh, I
just kind of
remember
squashed
that,
it.
yeah.
they settled
and paid
that.
them.
They settled it and
They
paid the
settled it.
artist. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's ways to settle that.
this
out
one
of
seems
court and
way
everything.
bigger though.
This seems like a guy's wanting to get real paid, and I don't think like knowing Bungie's history with lawsuits.
They
I
got
don't
good lawyers
think
too.
they're going to do that, but
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll just have to wait and see. We will do 2 more questions here. Subsistence Sasquatch. I don't. Oh my God. Subsistence Sasquatch says, any
He
wild
made that name
predictions
on
or
purpose.
hopes for the reveal?
Did you guys go over? I wasn't here last week. You guys went over the teaser that we got, right? So you did like a breakdown of what we saw in that.
Not necessarily like a full
Teaser?
breakdown.
No,
Not really.
the teaser
We talked
where
about it.
the 9 person was like floating, and
That came out
there was
this week.
also- That was this week. But
Yeah, that came out. Like
there was also the
yesterday.
person flying, and then the clock
Orin.
went backwards. So
Yes.
it's like we went
Yeah,
back
Yeah.
in time. Yeah,
that one
so
we
I'm
did
just
talk
hoping
about
to see.
for like a second, but
Yeah, I hope we get to see some more crazy
Yeah.
shit, like story wise.
they'll probably explain like the
So
story beats that we're doing. So
Yeah.
next week we'll have a lot to talk about as far as like
Mhm.
educate.
Yeah.
for the 100th episode.
Yeah, for the
Mhm.
100th
Yeah,
episode.
see,
Good
it
timing.
worked
Good
out
timing
well.
for 100. Yeah.
I'm glad that we took all those weeks off in between.
All for this.
To get to this
Yeah.
point, yeah. No, yeah.
Thank you, Easter.
Thanks, Easter, and some of the other weeks. But there
Super
was
Bowl
a-
week. Thank you.
I think
That's
the
true.
big-
That's true. That's true.
the big thing is that like, so we saw people in chat are like the floating feet, the feet pick one, the floating grippers. So like this is, we were talking about Claire Obscure earlier. There is a character named Loon who also has floating feet, just bare feet, just out
Yes.
there in the
The
wild.
entire game.
Mm,
Does that count
throughout
as
the-
fan service?
I don't know, but
Mm.
this seems like a trend. I'm seeing a trend.
there
there's
are
a lot more
cutscenes
feet.
where her feet are very dirty, so I don't know.
Anyways,
Someone out there made that and wanted to
Right.
show you
yeah.
on the big screen.
Yeah.
So
Tiddly, got any comments on dirty feet?
You know, I love how you're asking me that question specifically.
Bona,
like one of
like-
the
You
tags
wanna
on my
say
channel
Why not
is
get
likely
toes, dude?
stinky. It's like, you know, I shower, I swear. Wow.
I promise, Tiddly, you look like you have very clean feet. It's
Oh, thank you. I think no one's told me that before, but
That-
appreciate that. That felt like a very directed question, not
That
gonna
was-
lie. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how I feel.
So
Anyway,
what's the
here's
next
my
question, Dan?
No, I think I just imagine we're going to see a lot more feet. Do you? Here's my prediction.
A lot of
we see
edging
our
and a lot of
guardian's
feet.
foot. We see our guardian's foot. We decide to get down in the mud with them.
Hmm.
There. That's
I don't
fine.
know. I feel like for me, I wish for more of like an amorphous thing than this very specific wild thing.
Yeah.
Like I just want to be excited.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I know that they cycled through they waited to do this and to cycle through the marathon stuff that they had to put out. They didn't want to compete as the same studio
Mhm.
with marathon and the hype around that. But I just it feels very much like this reveal has been delayed and people have been
Mhm.
really wanting it in the community. I know that we've talked about that over multiple weeks. I'm my husband and I talk about the game all the time, and something that we talk about offline is like, when are they gonna tell us more? When is the hype machine gonna get cranking? Like, I
Mhm.
need the hype machine. The game is feeling like a little stale, not gonna lie. Like, and it's not because this season hasn't been excellent. There are people in chat who are like, "Oh my god, the story beats have been so good this season." Like, it's been really, there's been a lot of really good things that have happened this season, but I think it's more so that gamers want to know there's going to be a reason for their time investment right now.
Mhm.
And without knowing what the path forward or like what the new content is going to look like, it doesn't feel as worthwhile to invest time in it. So we're playing other stuff.
Right.
So like that's what I need. I want the hype machine to crank. I'm ready for people to get excited about new content and get back into the current game.
Big same.
Yeah. Also, I wash my feet.
You have to watch
Do you
your feet,
scrub
man.
or do you just let the water like run down your legs?
Oh no,
There's a
you
lot
gotta
of
you gotta
questions.
actually scrub the footers. Got to get in between the toes,
Yeah.
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 Final question of the night comes from our friend Doomhammer. If you could forget one video game from your lifetime so that you could replay it again
Easy.
for the first time, what would y'all pick?
Oh.
Easy.
Oh.
I can't pick one. I have to pick 3. Mass Effect series.
Mass Effect series?
Easy.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Easy.
For me, it would be Final Fantasy X too. Very
Okay.
specifically,
yes, that's-
very
yeah.
specifically, just like I played that with my sister, and it's just like I don't know. I know it's kind of it's not everyone's favorite Final Fantasy, but that is
Mhm.
my favorite Final Fantasy that has ever come out.
Are you saying specifically 10-2 or that entire series?
Specifically Final Fantasy X-2 is
Mhm.
my favorite of all of the Final Fantasy that I've ever played.
10-2?
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was the first
Yeah.
direct sequel.
Like
it was the very
the first direct
direct
sequel
sequel
of Final
to
Fantasy
any
series,
Final
yeah.
Fantasy game.
so it's the 10th Final Fantasy, but it's the second.
Best way to
one?
think of it
It's
is
this-
like it's
correct.
the
Yeah.
same
It's-
universe, but the next chapter.
Mhm.
Right, because I think, and I don't exactly know why
okay.
they made
I don't
it,
know
but
anything about right. Okay.
they
They wanted to tell
the
more
way
story about Yuna post.
right, because
Titus.
the way that 10 ended, like a lot of fans felt like the ending was unsatisfying for 10. So it like 10-2 is kind of like
Yeah.
a continuation of Yuna's story, and
Each game
and-
with a number is a
so
different
good.
universe.
oh my god, that's the
Mhm.
first
Each
game that I
game with
100%
another
in. Like
number is
I
a
played
different
the crap
universe.
out of that
Yeah.
game. It
And
was
then they
so
have
good.
that number dash whatever
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
a continuation of that universe. Like another one they did
Yeah.
was
Cool,
Final
cool.
Fantasy 13, 13-2, 13-3.
Yeah, which were not as good, honestly.
That's
But,
So
Yeah, cool.
but I mean, I enjoyed them. I enjoy like generally, and
yeah, but
and
10,
I enjoy
that's my favorite
Lightning
series
too. I
is
know
10.
people think
Yeah.
Lightning is like a little annoying, but
I love
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
remember
we love Lightning.
10-2 and Grand Theft Auto 3 were both taken
on
from me,
PlayStation.
really by my parents, because they're like, "What are these games?"
GTA, I understand.
Yeah, I think they saw women in a video game and became very threatened.
Wait, what? That's pretty. I'm like, there's really nothing bad. I mean, there's-
Oh my
But
you can
yeah,
see your
there's nothing
ankles.
bad-
There
yeah,
might
there's
be
a-
some light kissing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like,
My parents
Yeah.
did that with GTA Vice City when
Yeah.
they came in. I was playing it, and all of a sudden I picked up a hooker, and they were like, "What are you doing?
No, we're just going out for coffee.
Hot coffee? Get out of here!"
yeah.
But yeah,
And I was like, "I need her for this quest."
Oh no, Mum! She spilled coffee on her clothes. You have to take them off.
Okay.
I think mine is it has to be Legend of Dragoon. That game was so
Yeah.
cool and like so fun when I played it the first time. And everybody else was like doing Final Fantasy VII. I was doing Legend of Dragoon at that time, which is just so rich with the battle, the way that you battle. I didn't realize that the same guy who developed the battle system in Super Mario RPG also created the battle system for Legend of Dragoon, which
Yep.
makes perfect sense. And yeah, Legend of Dragoon, just a classic. You can get it on PS5.
I need to actually play that game. I've never played it.
You should. Some things haven't aged all that well. Like some of the
Really?
script,
Uh-oh.
some of the script stuff.
The story stuff? Okay, that makes sense.
Some of the script
Yeah.
stuff hasn't aged all that well, but then again, Final Fantasy VII didn't necessarily translate A to B.
'Cause I've been recommended that a lot with the connection to Claire, and I was talking about it, and people said, well, you need to play Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah,
for
dude.
example.
Like, so if you like, Claire Obscura is like a direct descendant of Super Mario
That's what they
RPG and Legend of Dragoon, especially
Yeah.
with like the timed hits and the kind of quick time games that you end up playing with the controller or with your PC on button
Yeah.
hits. Yeah, like I think you'd have a.
You say you can play
have
it
a
on
lot of fun.
PlayStation 5?
I originally played it in a basement on PlayStation 1 when it came out, or when it was like on classics.
Well, yeah.
But it is on PlayStation 5. I believe you can purchase it for like $20, and it's like 4
have to play
discs worth
that.
of game. Just so cool. Doomhammer Legend of Dragoon is ripe for a remake. That would be super cool. I would love to see a Legend of Dragoon remake. Yeah, man, love that game. With that, that's all the questions fit to print. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight for episode 99 of the Destiny Digest podcast. 70 some odd days away from the end of the season or episode Heresy. I want to thank you guys so much for listening to us. We're going to go around the box here and tell folks where they can find you on the internet. Epic Dan, what about you, sir?
You can find me on twitch.tv/epicdan22. This week is pretty much nothing but Destiny with all the big hype stuff. Hopefully the contest, dungeon, whatever comes out for the emblem so I can help people do that.
Heck yeah. Bona, what about you, sir?
Yeah, you'll find me on the Sky is Blue and all the other places, streaming on Twitch Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Tomorrow I'm actually doing the tic-tac-toe event for Bungie.
Nice.
So I'll be there
Sick.
doing some emblem giveaways and fighting off Nighthawk and Vendetta as their own opponents.
Good
So that'll be
luck.
fun. It'll be fun. And yeah, just a lot of that. And then this coming weekend, we have the Dune large scale open beta. So we'll be playing that
Oh,
all
open.
weekend as well. You have to sign up to it, but yes, it's open. The first 20, 25 hours that you can play. So yeah, be getting everyone into that and showing them how to play it before it all comes out.
Heck yeah. Tiddly, what about you, friend?
Twitch.tv/Tiddly. I'm live Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock Central to whenever. This week is probably going to be an amalgamation of finishing out some alpha play, watching the reveal on Tuesday, maybe getting into some rivals this week, maybe some Rite of the Nine. I feel like it's going to be maybe Baldur's. It's going to be a fun week. I feel like I'm going to be playing a lot of stuff this weekend. So
Heck yeah.
I'm
man.
also on Blue Sky. It's Tiddly on Blue Sky.
I'll message you about my schedule for Baldur's
Yeah.
over the next few
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah,
Because it
yeah,
seems I have
yeah,
a lot more
yeah.
Tuesdays free.
Yeah.
So yeah, as for me, you can find me on Blue Sky. You can find me on all the places generally DanfinityGG or danfinity.gg. That's my website too, danfinity.gg. So just go there. There will be some things going up there. I've been kind of negligent of putting content on there recently, so I'm going to be focusing on that this week, trying to get some more stuff on there. You can also find me on Twitch 3 days a week, maybe 4 this week. I don't know. We'll find out. Twitch.tv/Danfinity. And just wait and lurk in the chat. And then when I go live, then you're already there. So you won't have to look out for it.
Every waking hour.
Every waking hour. Every waking hour. That said, I also want to say support independent games journalism, because the stuff that we have slowly going away. So go support those creators out there that you enjoy, that are making good work on the front lines of the game industry. Go do that. I like Aftermath. I liked Giant Bomb. Kind of Funny's cool. There's all sorts of stuff out there. Go check them out. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you find what you're grinding for.